There have been so many studies done on the importance of sleep that there isn't even a point in me going into too much detail. Just to say a few is that it will literally improve your mental health, your physical health, so your immune system, your creativity, as well as your focus, your ability to avoid doing instant gratification, to avoid doing the bad habits which you don't want to be doing, as well as it will improve your longevity in general. There are crazy amounts of benefits in terms of if you improve your sleep or if you have quality sleep, and so there is no real point in explaining that how important it is, because everyone knows it. And it's that one habit when if you improve it, it will automatically improve almost all other areas of your life. And so it's definitely not something to neglect. And now if you want to close your eyes, you can do it, so that you can imagine better what I'm going to talk about. If not, then you can just listen. You wake up in the morning, and you wake up due to a sound which you already or you recognize right away, because it's your alarm. And you feel groggy, you feel crazy tired, and so you pick up your phone which is right next to you. You turn the alarm off because you know that you have the second one waiting for you, and you lay down and you think whether you should wake up or not. But you feel so tired that you end up falling asleep again, and you wake up to the second alarm, which you turn off, and you don't even almost think about anything and you fall back to sleep right away. And you wake up to the third alarm, which you know is your last, and so you force yourself to get up. It's as if your head was almost shaking, you feel tired, your eyes don't want to be open, it feels cold, you don't want to get up or get out of the bed, to get out of your warm blankets. But eventually you have to do it because your time is running out, you will be late to school or to work, and so you get out. You slowly start making your way to your wardrobe, you take your clothes out and you start dressing up. And that's how like the usual morning of the average person goes. But there are many ways or many improvements which you can make to drastically improve your quality of your sleep in general, and I have already made a video about that, you can check it out. But right now I want to talk about a bit different side of the whole spectrum, and it's that maybe one of the reasons why you also might be waking up tired or without energy or demotivated is your alarm. It doesn't have to be the way how you go to sleep, so your sleep ritual, because you might already do all the good habits which you have to do to improve your sleep, as well as you have like the right amount of or the right length of sleep, but for some reason you always wake up tired. There are two things which I want you to look at or experiment with, because they might also be one of the or two of the reasons why you have trouble waking up motivated as well as energized. And so the first one is your alarm. One thing which you can do, and it's pretty simple, is to experiment with the different kinds of songs, different kinds of sounds with which you will wake up. And so if you use the normal alarm which is default for your phone, then maybe you should try downloading some sort of music, something that will calm you down, but it will also like wake you up in a positive spirit, as well as it will make you motivated and energized. But it's something you have to experiment with, because if you choose one song that is, even though if you like it, during the day when you listen to it you feel energized, you feel motivated, you like listening to it in general, when you use it for your alarm it can be something completely different. And so the point or the main lesson of this video is to experiment with those 2 points. And I will get back to the second point in a second. As for the alarm, just experiment with different sounds, as I mentioned, with different songs, and if you would like and you have some sort of skill in audio editing softwares or just video editing softwares where you can edit your audio as well, then what you can do is literally create your own alarm, something that will literally be refined for yourself. So you can experiment with nature sounds if you would like to wake up to something natural, or you can experiment with combining different songs. So maybe one, as the first one, could be something relaxing, something to slowly wake you up, And the second song which would come up would be something more energetic and something that would hype you up. And you can experiment with that. As I mentioned, I will mention this word many times in this video because it's important, because it will take many attempts for you to actually find the right song, the right mix, which will work for you. And now for the second point is to experiment with the length of your sleep and to experiment with the times when you go to bed and when you wake up. Because if you go with the general rules for humans that you should sleep at least for 8 hours, you should go to bed at least 10 p.m. and wake up when you hit that 8 hours mark. Even if you sleep for 8 hours, even if you go to bed at the time which is recommended, you still might feel tired. And the reason why is that every one of us is different. And so for you, the best time to go to bed, maybe even at 7 p.m. or for somebody else it could be to go to bed at 12 p.m. and for somebody else it might be better for them to wake up at 5 a.m. whereas for somebody else it could be better to wake up at 10 a.m. And so the point is to experiment. I don't know at what time you are watching this video, but what you can do is to experiment right away, like literally today. As you go to sleep, just try to move your alarm a bit, either a bit later or a bit earlier, so you will wake up earlier or later. And what you will do, the important point which you must not forget is that if you will switch or alter the time when you wake up or go to bed every single day, then it will not really work. You will feel tired each and every day. And the reason why is that sleep is heavily dependent on the consistency of your sleep schedule, which means if you will switch every single day when you go to bed and when you wake up, your body's clock will not be able to adjust, and so you will feel tired even though you had maybe even 9 hours of sleep. And so in that case, like general rule which you can try is to alter your go to bed time as well as wake up time after around 4 days, which means you will have 4 days to adjust to the time switch or to the time which you have altered, and after those 4 days then you will make another change and do it in the period of 4 days, and that way your body will get accustomed to that change. Because that's the mistake which I have actually made just now, that I was switching my times too often and my body, or in general, I felt super tired in the morning even though I might have slept a lot of hours, even though I woke up later. And so in that case, if you are experimenting with your sleep schedule, then give yourself the 4-day gap between each change. That way your body will get accustomed, as I mentioned. And that was the main point of this video. Don't only try to optimize everything that people on the internet say. In general, you should sleep for 8 hours, because for you the length of your sleep might be different, as well as the time when you go to bed might be also different. And something that I don't really hear anyone talk about is that alarm is also very important. If you don't have the opportunity to wake up to some sort of a light which will naturally or gradually light up, and so you will wake up to something like a natural light, even though it's artificial. If you don't have that, like me, then you can try creating your own alarm which would gradually wake you up with natural sounds. And or if you don't really like natural sounds, or it kind of stresses you out when you wake up to that in the morning, you can try some sort of a song, or you can combine several songs. It doesn't matter, just be creative, experiment with it, because you never know, you might end up finding something that will just naturally work for you, and you will be able to wake up energized like never before. And also something that you have to keep in mind, there is a high chance that even if you find that one alarm or that one specific length of time for you to sleep, or the specific time when you should go to sleep and when you wake up, and during which you feel like the most energetic and the most motivated, there is a chance, a slight chance, that after some time it might just stop working, and you might have to go through that experimentation process once more. And the same thing goes for the alarm. Like, it might work for 1 week, for 1 month, but eventually you will get like tired of hearing the same thing in the morning, and so then you can either try experimenting once more, or just go with something simple, just search different songs and find the right one which works for you. And hopefully this video was valuable, and if you have liked it or you have anything you want to add or ask, you can comment it down below, and afterwards you can watch this video next.